This week. Even though we got some pretty great PSVR2 news at State of Play last week, which if you missed we'll cover later in the video, there's still the possibility that even more news is coming this week, because don't forget, PSVR2 is turning 2 years old, so with any luck, Sony will celebrate like they normally do, by delivering a PSVR2 spotlight on the PlayStation blog, which generally gives us updates or release dates on incoming games, and maybe even a reveal or two. Last week, the Clean Sheet devs dropped a new game on the PlayStation Store called Dodgecraft. Wow, what a terrible name. Blending what they're calling high-octane fun with a full-body workout. Perfect for fans of dodgeball, rugby, or football, Dodgecraft will challenge your evasion and tackling skills like never before. Face an oncoming asteroid belt and see how long you can dodge and survive. Or run the gauntlet and defend your zone from relentless robots trying to breach your defenses. Push, shove, punch, and whack these pesky foes off the ledge into the void of space. Coming to PSVR2 this week, Mutant Boxing League is a single-player game built to make your daily workout something fun and challenging. Every opponent has a different style and a trick up their sleeve, so you need to punch, jab, block, dodge, and slip to become an unstoppable boxing champion. This week, the developers over at Kinetic Games revealed their full Phasmophobia roadmap for 2025, and it details everything from new equipment and a new map to a complete overhaul of character customization and seasonal events that they're planning. None of the updates have specific release dates attached to them yet, but for Phasmo fans like me, there is a lot to look forward to. And just yesterday, they tweeted this image with the words, "Talk to you next week, Ghost Hunters," which seems to mean that we're finally getting voice recognition for the Spirit Box and Ouija boards. The newest puzzle pack for Puzzling Places offers a soothing mix of 6 unique puzzles to match any mood. Check out the Montagne Farmhouse Hearth, Mexican Folk Mask, Howard Peter Rawlings Conservatory, Orthodox Church in the Smoking Room, or the Castle in the Sky. If you haven't dropped into Ancient Dungeon recently, you might not know that we finally got the massive update that includes a ton of new relics, new bosses, alternate floors, along with the long-awaited 4-player co-op mode. And for the most part, it works great, especially after they patched out a massive game-breaking bug. But apparently, that's not enough, because another update's coming at the end of this month. This one featuring a new orb, new relics, 10 new insight upgrades, and more, with yet another update planned for a little further down the road, adding a brand new weapon combo. Waltz of the Wizard dropped a new, somewhat unexpected update this week, showing off PSVR2's hand tracking capabilities. Now you can put the controllers down and move around and cast spells using simple hand gestures. It works well enough and it's fun to mess around with, but personally I'd rather use the controllers for the haptics and adaptive triggers. But if you've played it, I want to know if I'm alone on this, so let me know in the comments which way you prefer playing.
It's like a book about your hands. That's handy.
The newest patch for Behemoth dropped this week, featuring over 700 updates and fixes, although apparently it's still not perfect. And while it's admirable that Skydance is still working to make the game great, it's the following statement that's most surprising. Keep an eye out for even more news, as not only will we continue to sharpen the experience of Behemoth, but also explore the addition of a new game mode or two. My guess is that they're improving the arena mode, and maybe even adding New Game Plus, but I guess we'll have to wait and see what they decide to do.
It's my power. Succeed where I fail.
The latest patch for Alien Rogue Incursion dropped this week too, and while it takes care of a ton of bugs, it also addresses one of my main concerns for the game, the non-stop barrage of xenomorphs. The first patch note reads, major xenomorph spawning rebalance. The xenomorph's hearing and vision were adjusted to avoid spawning in overwhelming numbers and too accurate awareness of the player's location. So hopefully, I'll actually have a reason to use the motion tracker now.
Emergency lockdown protocols are in effect.
Davis, come in. Do you copy?
We can make it on our own, 'cause all we need is a little bit of rock and roll.
Dig VR captures the sheer joy, adrenaline, and frustrations of life on a digger. Featuring authentic, immersive controls that recreate the feelings of driving a real digger, Dig VR is a light simulation game with a casual arcade twist. Grow your business in the charming town of Diglington, a place where everything can be fixed by the power of a digger. Progress from micro-sized to colossal diggers with a diverse set of attachments to overcome any challenge. Dig VR is coming to PSVR2 next month on March 20th.
So let me explain the situation. One of our contractors, Edwin Murray, has gone missing, leaving our property abandoned in his warehouse.
This week's State of Play was surprisingly good, showcasing new game after new game at a great pace for about 40 minutes straight. And even though there was no indication that we'd be seeing any PSVR2 games, 3 hybrids were snuck in there, including the first gameplay footage of Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic. Now, there is a little confusion as to exactly when we'll be getting the PSVR2 mode for it though, as Steel Wool and Sony stripped any mention of it from the PlayStation Store and their social media accounts, then finally confirming yesterday that PSVR2 support will not be there at launch. So even though you can get 10% off by pre-ordering right now, I wouldn't recommend it until we know when the PSVR2 version's coming.
The burnt one woke from a deep slumber.
Quickly becoming one of our most anticipated PSVR2 games, The Midnight Walk also made an appearance at this week's State of Play, with a brand new trailer which showed off some more gameplay along with some interesting gameplay mechanics. And best of all, we don't have long to wait, as the trailer ended with a May 8th release date.
I reckon you must be headed for Moon Mountain. Am I right?
Where do you think doors have eyes?
Over on the PlayStation blog, Q Games describes their new game Dreams of Another as a third-person exploration action game built around the philosophical theme, no creation without destruction. Rather than destroying objects by shooting as in traditional shooting games, here, your shots materialize and create the world. This unconventional mechanic offers a gameplay experience that challenges the norms of the genre and invites players into a whole new dimension. Dreams of Another launches with PS5 Pro enhancements and PSVR2 support later this year. Live the experience of being an omnipotent god and decide the fate of mankind. Deism is a sandbox game where you can build your own world from scratch and guide humanity from the Stone Age to the modern era and beyond. Perform miracles to help humanity prosper, or hinder them by causing disasters. You can do anything you dream of in Deism. You're in charge, and no one will judge your actions. Become the master of your dungeon, command your army of demons, expand your territory, place strategic traps, and defeat waves of adventurers with powerful spells. Embark on a journey through 18 levels, each demanding approximately 20 to 25 minutes of strategic gameplay. Prepare to outmaneuver your adversaries and overcome diverse challenges, requiring unconventional tactics and sharp decision-making skills to claim victory.
Death Mental's back and take up a 1983 classic arcade game, iRobot.
Back in 1984, Atari released multi-directional shooter iRobot into arcades, although it didn't exactly set the world on fire. Despite going down in history as the first arcade game made entirely with polygons in 3D, the reception wasn't great and ended up being one of the last arcade games Atari Incorporated would ever develop before the company restructured. Well, here we are 40 years later, and Llamasoft is looking to make things right with a new version of iRobot for PS5, featuring full compatibility with PSVR2.
Return to the grave.
Well, it looks like the Binary Mill's been listening to our request for their Spider-Man-like web-slinging city shooter Resist to be brought over to PlayStation VR2, as they announced this week that the port is coming soon, with full haptic support and other enhancements for PSVR2. Between this and the recently announced Into Black port, the Binary Mill's doing great things for PSVR2 in 2025, so I'll try not to bug them too much about a Rush VR port.
Because you don't respect me. You push me, and you push me.
Even though I've headlined this story with Trover Saves the Universe, a hilarious third-person platformer on PSVR1, let's open this up a bit to include the entire Squanch Games catalog, including the weirdest Accounting Plus and their flat-screen FPS, High on Life. These games would be perfect on PSVR2. So what's going on, Squanch? Don't you love us anymore?
Fuck you, you son of a bitch.
Every week, our good friend Professor Lilith organizes a multiplayer meetup over on our Discord. It happens every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, and this week we'll be playing 10-player rhythm dance game Synth Riders. If you can't make this week's meetup, don't worry. It happens every Sunday at the same time, so make sure you click the link in the description below and come join our Discord.
This week.